Inés de Suarez was a conquistadora, something very hard to find in the age of exploration. Inés had a major impact. She founded a city and was in 2 battles. She helped her crew in many dire situations, such as she found water and uncovered plots to unseat Pedro de Valdivia. Inés was born in 1507 in Plasencia, Extremadura, Spain. Plasencia is a city in Extremadura, a region of Spain. Not much else is known about her early life until she married Juan de Malaga at age 19. Shortly after their marriage, Juan left to Panama to serve with the Pizarro brothers. She also went to Panama because she had heard no news from him. When she got there, she found out that Juan had died in the Battle of the Salt Mines. She was then rewarded with some native slaves and some land in Cusco. Cusco is a city in Peru that was Incan in her early life, but was then conquered in 1532 by Francisco Pizarro. After Juan's death, she began a romance with Pedro de Valdivia, though he had a wife. Her journey started when Pedro de Valdivia asked Francisco for permission to bring Inés as a servant. Francisco then wrote a letter telling Inés that she was brave to put herself on the front lines and granted her permission. On December 1540, Inés, Pedro, and the rest of their crew got to Cusco. But because of earlier intrusions, the natives burned their provisions and drove off their livestock, leaving nothing for the crew and their horses. 11 months after they had reached Cusco, they reached the valley in which they were to colonize. She was the first European woman on Chilean land. The valley was an ideal spot to colonize. Pedro tried to make the natives think he meant well by sending the leaders of the Mapuche tribe gifts. But, united by Michimalonco, a Mapuche native, they kept the gifts and attacked. They were beating the Spaniards when all of a sudden they ran away. Some natives that were captured said that they saw a man come from the clouds and attack them. Soon after, they named the city Santiago de Chile. Pedro then called some Caciques over to discuss the bringing of food, but just kept them hostage. The next time they were attacked was the Battle of Santiago on September 11th. A messenger told Captain Alonso de Monroy that Santiago was surrounded by natives. The captain then asked Inés if they should return the Caciques, but she said no because they were the only bargaining tool that they had. He then called a war council and the battle started. In the morning of September 11th, armed Spaniards rode into the woods to attack. The natives then forced the Spaniards into a retreat until they were in the plaza. Inés wanted to decapitate the captive Caciques and throw their heads into the crowd because they were shouting encouragement to their native army. There was some objection, but she was allowed to do it. She then went to where the Caciques were guarded by Hernando de la Torre and Francisco Rubio. Hernando asked how to kill them, and seizing his sword, she chopped off their heads and said in this manner. After the heads were thrown, the natives were easily defeated, and after the battle, she got another reward. Her relation with Pedro ended in 1543 when he was tried in Lima for his illegitimate union. Inés died in 1580 at 73, a progressive part of the era. Inés did many things. She participated in the conquest of Chile in 1539. She helped found a city and was in 2 battles. At the end of her life, she dedicated herself to faith and serenity and gave most of her money away to charity before she died. I think Inés was brave and smart. The Battle of Santiago would have been lost without her. I think she was extremely successful. How about you?